feel free to ask. Yan, via chat, pwede kayong mag-send ng messages. Anonymous man yan or nag-send nyo to everyone, totally fine. O kaya you can raise your hand and then ask a question and we can, yeah, make a topic out of that. Sige. So what do you have in mind? Ano yung sinusubukan yung i-figure out sa buhay in this season? And yeah, let's see how we can help. Siyempre magkakayaan pa tayo. Baka yung iba sa inyo, na-miss nyo lang ako. Kaya kayo andito. Diba? Ayan. Ah, kahit i-chat nyo lang, any, ayan, got a question po. Balik po ako in a bit, may delivery lang. Sige, sige, unahin natin yan. Shopee and Lazada is ano, important priority in life. Ayan. Tipong ano nga yan eh, parang kapag ibang mga bagay, hindi ako nagigising eh. Pero pag kumatok yung Shopee at Lazada, nagigising ako eh. So, may built-in ano prioritization. Anyway, sige. Let's build this up. Anong gusto niyo pag-usapan? Kailangan ko ba magbato ng prompts? Kung nag-prompt
Ako
ako,
na lang, Kage.
okay, okay. Go ahead, go ahead. Sabihin ko pa nga lang,
Ano,
love life dapat yung ipa-prompt ko eh. Pero,
di-
okay, go ahead, go ahead. Share, share.
ano, parang since March, very low yung energy ko. Gusto ko
Hmm.
lang magtrabaho. Wala kang ibang gustong gawin. And now, I feel like I'm back. Medyo high energy na. Even sa social media, nagsho-show up. And nag-reach out, ganyan. Pero hindi ko alam kung, parang kinakabahan ako hanggang saan ko ba masusustain yung high energy. Kasi
Right,
nag-isolate talaga ako since
right,
March.
right. Uh, Sige. So, lahat tayo merong cycles eh. Oh, actually, there's the biological side. So for men and women, it's different, right? So for women, 28-day yung cycles. For men, it's 24 hours. So magkaiba yung pag-replenish ng energy, kailan siya nag-increase, di ba? Higher and kailan nagdi-dip, no? Tapos meron din tayong reset when it comes to the social. So may biological, di ba? Meron ding social na ano, meron talagang seasons na gusto mo lang mag-isa. Okay, that's not bad. That's not negative at all. Some people label it as bad, especially if you're running a business na kailangan mong maging social, na required kang magmingle sa mga tao. Syempre, it can feel negative if feeling mo nandun ka sa season na maglaylo ka sana muna. Parang, yun yung mga season na parang mas gusto mo pang, ano ba to? Like, in my own life, it felt like lahat ng tao sa mundo walang kwenta, mas okay pang kasama yung mga aso ko. Okay? Meron, meron mga ganong season. Some people would just rather focus on family, wala munang ibang mga ano-ano, di ba? Um, kasi sa social dynamics natin, depende din kung mas tayo nagbibigay o mas tayo nakaka-receive. Ideally, balance yun eh. No? Merong klase ng pagbibigay na nakaka-fulfill sa'yo. Pero pag sumobra na doon sa side na yun, makakaubos na siya. Meron din namang klase ng pag-receive na, ayun din, pwedeng sumobra. Okay? So yung pag-curate or pag ng social circles natin, isa yun sa pinaka-crucial na part para maging sustainable yung energy cycles. Okay? So, yung sa biological na side, mahaba kasi ano yun eh. Mahaba usapan yun, so hindi ko na ito-touch on masyado. Pero alagaan mo yung tulog, alagaan mo yung nutrition, alagaan mo yung daily movement, that usually takes care of it. Mas kabisado mo naman yung sarili mong rhythms biologically. Yung sa social na side, yan yung iba't ibang klase ng tao sa buhay mo. Ano ba yung structure nila? Diba? So ideally, there's people na more advanced than you. So sila yung mas nagbibigay sa'yo in the journey. There's people naman na ikaw yung mas advanced sa kanila. So, sila yung mas natututo sa'yo, tapos ikaw yung mas nagbibigay. Sila yung nakaasa sa'yo o naka-look up sa'yo. Meron ka rin naman mga kasabayan, no? Yung mga kapantay mo yung level, so magkakadikit yung goals nyo, magkakadikit yung desires nyo. Ito yung mga karamay mo kapag may magrarant ka, o may chika ka, o may gusto kong, ano lang, parang win lang na i-celebrate, gets nila kasi kasabay mo sila dun sa journey. So, iba't ibang klase ng tao dun sa social aspect. It's a good thing to be mindful of. Kung gusto mo mas maging sustainable yung energy, really curate the people in your circle based on sino yung nagbibigay sa'yo, kanino ka nagbibigay, and sino yung mga karamay mo. Yan. There's also the financial aspect to this, which heavily relates sa lifestyle. Okay? So merong mga certain activities. So not necessarily with people. So mga solo activities lang muna. Na kapag ginagawa mo, it fuels you, it replenishes you. Nare-relax ka, nakakalma ka, mas may peace of mind, nare-recharge ka. And many of those things, hindi naman lahat, pero many of those things would require money. Okay? So for some people, it's traveling. For some, which is hindi laging, pwede lang kung travel mo, pumunta ng 7-Eleven lang. Ganyan. So, ibang usapan yun. Pero yung travel na travel talaga, yan yung mga may require na gastos. Di ba? So, yung financial aspect, paano siya nakakatulong sa setup ng cycles, ng mga activities na yon sa buhay mo na nakaka-replenish o nakaka-energize. Hindi pong pag nagbuka ng flight, gaganahan ka mabuhay lalo. Ganun. Yeah, may mga ganun eh. So sa akin, it's certain purchases like mga cards that I play with, di ba? Yun yung mga solo stuff mo. And then there's stuff, activities naman, na hindi lang finances yung requirement, there's people involved. Okay? So, kung magta-travel ka man, sino yung kasama mo? So, kunyari, traveling, nakaka-replenish na sa'yo, pero depende sa kasama kung maging ako triple pa yung return of that activity for you. Siyempre, kung ayaw mo yung mga kasama mo, usually stress yung madadala nun sa buhay mo kahit it's the same activity. Pero if ang kasama mo mga tao are people that you really jive with, tapos yung pa yung activity, then exponential yung balik. Mas sulit. Those are a few things to look at. Your biological cycles and rhythms, then your social, yung curation ng network mo right now, gaano nagkakaroon ng exchange of energy na sustainable. Hindi talaga pwedeng tayo lang yung bigay ng bigay. Okay? Now, in our line of work, as freelancers, entrepreneurs, di ba? Madalas our clients, tayo na yung pinaka nagbibigay sa kanila. Okay? So, kailangan meron din tayong ibang mga klase ng tao na pangsalo. No? Kung yung clients pwede makadrain ng energy, sino yung mga tao sa buhay mo na na pwedeng makatulong mag-replenish ng energy. Then lastly, the kind of activities na part ng lifestyle. They need to be there in your life at certain intervals. Hindi naman necessarily araw-araw travel, di ba? Pero probably once a quarter would be nice, di ba? Tapos ideally, ito, scientifically, 8 days minimum ang travel na nakaka-relax. Kapag mas maikli
Kala
sa
ko 17.
8 days lang, 8 days lang. So, pero pwede naman, pwede ako kasi. Ang usually naman, usually kapag nag 2 days na nakaka-homesick na. Okay? So, anywhere between 8 days to 21 days of travel at specific intervals within the year would be nice to have. Yeah. So, aside from travel, that's just one example. Pero iba-ibang mga tao, iba-iba rin ang mga activities that we engage with so that our energy cycles are more optimal. Yeah. To me, it's coaching. Having sessions like this. So, bakit ito ginagawa ng libre and stuff? It just makes sense to me. I love doing it. Yeah, it fulfills me, nakatuwa siya, and it adds to fuel for my other activities pa. Yeah, those are a few things that you can look at. Yun rin kasi yung mga lower hanging fruits. Malilista mo na kaagad. So, kamusta ba ako biologically, yung kinakain ko, tulog ko, ganyan, di ba? Tapos yung mga tracker pa, yung mga relo-relo, na sana hindi nawawala. Sa akin, nakaapat na akong smartwatch na nawala. So, and then yung people in your life, audit those. And then audit your activities that add more energy into your life. Yeah. Any follow-up question?
Okay na kami. Sila naman. Thank you.
Sorry. Salamat. All right. Si Jerry Lee, merong question. Go ahead.
Hello po, Kagi. Rinig niyo ba ako? Sorry. Inuubo kasi ako. Parang na-answer na actually din sa shinare mo. Pero, natuwa po actually ako nung nag-share kayo sa PBA na meron kayong AMA today kasi nagsa-struggle talaga ako mag-decide kung iwanan ko yung isang client or hindi. So, for context po, I have 2 clients right now. Yung full-time ko na client, so 8 hours. Pero ano siya, flexible. So, kahit matapos kayo ng 4 hours, it's fine.
Mhm.
Yung earnings ko from there, just for context, ano siya, parang konti lang yung difference niya sa expenses. That's why nag-add po ako this year ng additional client. However, I found myself na sobrang nasistress na talaga ako sa workload. Which is, for context din, additional context, I have ADHD, tapos, I love writing naman, yun naman po yung trabaho ko. So, I'm passionate about what I do, pero simula po nung siguro mga second month ko with my second client, sobrang nadidrain na po ako to the point na nahihirapan akong tumawa, okay, pagbiroan sa boyfriend ko, ganyan. Tapos, one of the solutions I thought of was yung nabanggit niyo mag-travel. So, I went to Bacolod, my boyfriend's hometown. Kagaling ko lang dun. Opo, kakagaling ko lang kasi kakabalik ko lang ngayon this week. Excuse me. Ayun, tapos refreshing naman siya na na-re-energize ako. Although nagkalagnat kasi ulan na ulan. Pero pagdating ko po ulit ng work, once na nakita ko ulit yung tasks ko dun sa second client, ganun na ulit yung feeling ko na ang bigat ulit. And then, I found myself paralyzed today. Ngayon lang, found myself paralyzed, nakahiga lang talaga ako sa kama na hindi ko
Right.
ma-push yung sarili ko mag-work. So, parang pinag-pray ko po talaga yun eh. So, parang nag-decide na ako na kausapin siya. Yun lang, hindi ko lang alam kung ano yung starting conversation na sasabihin ko sa kanya.
So, I really appreciate sharing your part of your journey and where you're at right now. And yun nga, clearly nag-take ka na ng steps para improve yung situation mo and all. Tapos, so na-test mo na parang you've tried having a break from that specific scenario with the client. So for a time, okay siya habang nasa break. So pagbalik mo, so andyan na naman ulit, di ba? Kailangan mo ulit harapin. Yung mga uncommunicated desires natin, ay, naiipon kasi yung mga yan. Okay? And habang tumatagal na hindi mo siya naku-communicate, pabigat ng pabigat yan dalhin. Okay? It's basically pain without a deadline. Okay? So unless you communicate something, if meron ka ng mga desire tapos may inner conflict na, and then you voice it out, okay, hindi nagkakaroon ng possible na timeline kung kailan matatapos yung paghihirap na yun. Okay? So you are in a good place kasi, yun nga, kakausapin mo na siya. Now you wanna know kung paano mo yun i-approach. Okay? Nabanggit ko na to in different times, no? Pero it's one of my favorite frameworks. No? Madalas in self-development circles, we're encouraged to set boundaries. Okay? Na pag nag-set ka ng boundary, ang mangyayari doon is parang ultimatum na yun eh. So may isa pang other person, meron lang siyang dalawang option, gawin niya o hindi niya gawin. Okay? Pag hindi niya ginawa, may something. Pag ginawa niya, may something. Okay? So pag nag-set ka ng boundary, ikaw na yung nag-decide para sa other person. Minsan okay yun when it comes to, example, boyfriend mo, di ba? Parang pwede kang magsabi na parang, pag hindi tayo, alam mo yung mga memes na parang, kung hindi tayo ganito, wag na lang. Yung mga ganun. Ganong klase yung boundary eh. Okay? Pag sinabi mo kung hindi tayo ganito, wag na lang. Okay? But there are other ways na, na kailangan natin, feeling natin mag-set ng boundary. Example with clients. Pero, yung clients, in some sense, mas kailangan natin sila. Depende sa season. In this case, parang mas kailangan mo yung extra income. Di ba? So, pwede bang sabihin mo sa kanya bigla na, hindi, kailangan ganito tayo. Kung hindi tayo ganito, wag na lang. It's harder, di ba? Kasi, pag nawala siya, di ba? Or hindi na kayo match for whatever, so may loss on your end. Some people, lalo na pag feeling matapang sila na mag-advise, tapos hindi sila yung involved sa sitwasyon, ang i-advise nila sa'yo is more on, honor mo yung self-worth mo. So kung hindi nyo kayang tapatan yung demands mo, bitawan mo na yung client na eh. It's not always as practical. Okay? And kapag yung mismong tao na yung nag-a-advise, na andun sa sitwasyon na yun, mahihirapan na naman talaga siya. Madali mag-advise kapag buhay ng ibang tao yung involved. Anyway, tone down natin. So from boundaries, there are two other layers by which you can move forward conversations with clients. Okay? So yung una is to submit a request. Okay? So this starts with, client, pwede bang? Okay? And then list down kung ano yung requests. Okay? So if you want it to be more like yung ideal client mo, ano ba yung mga characteristics ng ideal client mo, ng work setup ninyo, na pwede mong i-request dun sa client mo na hindi ideal right now. So kunyari, time flexibility. So client B. So client A is ideal, client B is yung na-stress. Pero pagkausap mo siya, in the form of request, hey client, pwede bang may time flexibility din yung work na ginagawa ko? Pwede bang may mga days na off limits like pag weekends, kumbaga, okay lang, wala mo ng work whatsoever. Yeah. So, that's a form of request. Pero kailangan, alam mo yung mga i-request mo. Okay? The idea is, minsan si client may pushback. Okay? So, paano kung certain requests hindi pwedeng mangyari? Okay? So, from request, pwede na mag-turn into agreements. Okay? Pag agreements naman, meron ng trade-off. Okay? Meron ng kailangan i-play na part yung both sides. Pag request kasi, may hihingin ka, tapos ideally, pag bibigyan ka, okay na yun. Pag merong trade-off or may agreement, so basically, pag hiningi mo, pwede bang may time flexibility in work? And then si client would say, pwede naman may time flexibility in work, pero every Friday dapat tapos na yung output required for the week. Okay, so parehong may conditions. Nagbigay siya ng time flexibility, pero meron ka pa rin parameters by which you need to accomplish the work. So these are just examples. Okay? Pag boundary, ultimatum na kasi talaga agad yun. It's parang, sabi mo lang, client, kung hindi ganito, wala na, part ways na tayo. Okay? And that's not helpful in so many more cases. Okay? Yung mas diplomatic na approach is request and agreement. Okay? And that gives room then for the client to grow within the relationship. Kasi baka mamaya hindi niya lang na-realize at hindi niya alam ano yung nararamdaman mo being the service provider. No? And quick question, how long have you been working with the client?
3 months.
3 months. 3 months is a fairly short time frame pa. Okay? But hindi ka rin naman niya i-retain for 3 months if there's no good results and wala siya nakikitang potential of growing dun sa work ninyo together. Okay? So kung mga 1 month to, ang hirap mag-request. Di ba? Yung 3 months, pwede na. Kaya na. Okay? Kumbaga, you've tested working with the client enough para maging malinaw kung ano man yung i-request mo. O kung meron mang magiging bagong setup sa agreement ninyo, makaka-yes or no ka na depending on the conditions. Okay? So, ang kailangan mo ngayong ilista at i-clarify sa sarili is ano ba yung mga bagay na gusto mo sana para mas maging smooth yung pag-work mo with this client. Yeah. And at the same time, ano rin yung mga bagay na you'd be willing to offer into the table kung saaling magkakaroon ng agreements naman. Yeah. Any follow-up question to this?
I think, hindi ko ma-phrase yung follow-up. Kasi parang yung mindset ko po was to ano na eh, to end things na.
Mm.
Pero, ayun, kasi
You can
nag-usap na kami.
Right. Well, here's the thing about clients, no? And I wish I learned this like way earlier in my journey. Okay? Mas helpful to lalo na ngayon kasi mas dumadami na yung freelancers, mas tight na yung competition in different industries, may AI pa, so nag-iiba yung job opportunities that we have, no? So mas may unpredictability that's hovering over the freelancing space, no? Hindi lang madalas pinag-uusapan, kasi madalas pinag-uusapan yung marketing, marketing pa rin na ano, 6 figures, 7 figures, ganyan. Pero there's actually different truths na in the space na if you acknowledge earlier, you can adjust rin kaagad instead of mas mapag-iwanan ka. Anyway, so long-term client relationships are the key to actual financial and time freedom. Okay? Nabibuild natin yung long-term client relationships by being comfortable to set up agreements with clients. Okay? Ibig sabihin, hindi kailangan 100% pareho kayo ng point of view sa lahat ng pagkakataon. Pero pwede kayo mag-meet at one point dun sa point of view ninyo. So parang meet halfway or anywhere in the middle. Okay? As long as walang mamamatay. Okay? Because minsan kasi feeling natin the work for clients is parang sobrang laki ng impact sa atin. Pero one side to that is our stress management skill. Right? So if a person has a low capacity for managing stress, okay, the only way para ma-increase niya yung capacity na yun is to handle more stress. Okay? Walang ibang way para matutunan maghugas ng pinggan kundi maghugas ng pinggan. Magwalis, mga bagay na hindi ko ginagawa. No? Well, but that's the idea, no? You have to expose yourself to something na challenge ka. Okay? Basta hindi ka over-challenge, but you have to expose yourself to a dose of that challenge para you'll be able to handle that challenge more over time. So if you envision yourself long-term building client relationships and doing this as your livelihood, mas marami ka pang magiging uncomfortable na client conversations na need harapin. So you may treat this, kahit gusto mo na siyang bitawan, you may treat this as good practice. Sayang kasi yung pagkakataon na ma-practice mo yung, let's say, 10-15 minute conversation around this topic. Tapos malay mo, umokay pa pala. Malay mo, may iba pa palang opportunity. And it also positions you to, let's say, nagawa mo na. Tapos hindi gumana o ayaw niya mag-budge. At least pag binatawan mo siya, wala na talagang regret. Kasi nagawa mo na lahat ng pwede mong gawin, na-communicate mo na lahat ng pwede mong communicate. So kung bibitawan mo man siya, alam mong wala nang panghinayang. Move on na talaga agad. Wala nang what ifs. Yan. So mas malaya ka, in a sense, na maghanap ng mas fit na opportunity nang hindi nagdadalawang isip. Yan. Anything else in mind with this?
Thank you po, super helpful. I think siguro yung kwento ko lang din, parang one of my options kasi is to reduce yung hours ko. Kasi nga feeling ko drained na ako. So
Right.
para bumawi din kasi yung health ko affected na siya talaga.
Right,
So,
right. So clarifying yung requests mo, that is a good thing. So instead of like 8 hours, pwede ba 4 hours lang ako? Of course, there will be other drawbacks to that, pero at least matitest mo if carry ba. Right. So to share, no, one of my coaches, kausap ko 2 days ago, or kahapon yata, minsan hindi ko na maalala kung kailan, baka 2 days ago. So, tungkol naman to sa pagre-resign sa corpo, which is kind of the same, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, yung setup niya sa corpo, hindi niya na-trip ngayon, di ba? And then, gusto niya maghanap ng other opportunities. Ang main reason naman sa kanya, mas gusto niya to stay with her kids sa bahay. Okay? Kaya gusto niya work from home instead of pumupunta pa siya sa office, corpo job. Okay? Now, hindi niya na-consider, ang iniisip niya na mag-resign, hindi niya na-consider na kausapin yung management. Okay? Pero basically, ang naging first step namin is, tanong niya muna kung pwedeng 2 days a week lang siya sa office instead of 5 days a week. Okay? So yun naging first step niya. Okay? And in essence, okay na. Pwede pa lang 2 days a week lang siya sa office, tapos 3 days work from home. So ngayon, hindi niya na muna kailangan mag-resign. Eh nung unang part ng conversation namin, pinaplano niya na lahat ng mga gastusin hanggang sa Pasko, ganun kasi mag-iiba na, kasi mawawala yung source of income. Bakit natin na-stress yung sarili natin sa sobrang future pa? Eh may other option pa pala within the current opportunity. So the concept here is to maximize muna before we try to expand. Yan. Kung may pwede ka pang sulitin sa kung nasan ka, syempre tinrabaho mo yan eh, tapos ginawa mo na lahat para mapunta dyan eh. Tigain mo na lahat ng value na nandyan bago mo bitawan, if ever man. Diba? So kung wala na talaga akong pipigang value, same with corpo, kung wala nang growth opportunity, hindi ka na mapapromote, wala nang adjustment for your work-life balance, tapos mas nai-stress ka na kaysa dun sa natatanggap mong sweldo, tapos na-exhaust mo na lahat ng options mo, pwede ka nang bumitaw. Yan. So, sayang lang kasi yung opportunity na we already stepped into, tapos di pa natin nasusulit, pero dahil medyo mahirap na siya ngayon, bibitawan natin agad. Yan. So yeah, hope that helps.
thank you
Baka
po. Maraming salamat.
Sure. Baka other people have follow-up questions or any other questions from this. Kahit ibang topic, okay lang. May love life na ba? Naabangan ko yan. Meron ba? Ano bang other questions dito? Wala. Wala naman sa chat. Diyan ba kayo? Pakita naman kayo. Yung mga suki natin dito, life systems people. Ayan. Game. Ang iba
Wala lang.
Human
I'm
scale.
curious sa Life Systems Adventurer,
Mm.
which I saw in the email. Do you hear me? Hindi ako maka-video,
Yeah.
hindi ako video ready. Anyway, yeah. I'm just curious about that. I think that's in that email, that's where I saw the schedule for this series of Kumustahan.
Yeah.
And, yeah, ang question ko lang is, what's that about? And how different is it from, what was that program earlier this year? Sorry.
PBA.
Anyway, yung Life Systems Adventure, yung curious lang ako.
I think what you're referring to is the Life Systems Guild.
Oh yeah, okay.
Gotcha. Sige, yun na nga yun yung isang reason kung bakit ko bubuuin yung Life Systems Guild. Kasi pati ako nalilito na ako sa mga pangalan eh. So, totoo lang, okay, I'll be honest. So, personal na side muna, no? Bumubuo ako ng panibagong all year-round access na, it's not a program, it's a membership community. So, it's called Life Systems Guild. And every program, every workshop, every material that I have within Life Systems, andun na lahat pwede nang i-access. So it just depends on the person kung anong kailangan niya na improve sa buhay. It's gonna be categories that the person can access within that guild membership. Pero kaya ako siya binuo kasi I'm not a marketing guy. So tinatamad na ako mag-market ng hiwa-hiwalay na parts pa of life system stuff. So isip ko, sige, buo na lang ako ng something na andun na lahat. And that's Life Systems Guild. So it's an ever-evolving community with adaptive resources based on yung situation ng mga tao na nandun. Calls like this will be a part of that. But there's also hosted programs now within the Life Systems Guild, the currently running ones, and then previous programs that I run before. But basically, gusto ko lang mag-boost doon ng as many resources as possible. That's already been created through the years, updated yung iba, and yung iba is in the process of being created right now. That's what the Life Systems Guild, yun yung isang hugot ko doon. Gusto ko para isahan na lang, andun na lahat. Tapos kung may ima-market man ako, at least isa na lang. So isa lang yung pangalan na kailangan ko tandaan, tapos andun na lahat. From the student's point of view naman, ano yung pwedeng maambag ng Life Systems Guild sa buhay ng isang tao? So it's basically a place for the random. Because what I found out is many other programs in our common circle for entrepreneurs and freelancers, and even people trying to transition from corporate to business and all that. Very programmatic yung approach. What I mean by that is you follow stage 1 to stage something, you follow step 1 to step something, you follow strategy 1, strategy something. And it's either masasabayan mo o hindi. So kung masabayan mo, you'll probably get the wins that the program boasts about. Kung hindi mo naman masabayan, then you'll probably just lose time and money invested within that program. And to me nakakapanghinayang yung ganong klase ng Parang ang dating is, you would enroll in a program not knowing if it would work for you. So parang isusugal mo lang. Kasi hindi mo naman alam, di mailalatag sa'yo yung buong proseso from the start. Tapos pag nasa loob ka na, tsaka mo di-discover ano yung proseso. Tapos, kung na-discover yung proseso, tsaka mo malalaman kung pasok sa'yo o hindi. Mag-a-adjust ka ba o hindi. So kung hindi, sayang na. And ultimately, it's your fault as a student. Life Systems Guild membership, ang gusto kong maging dynamic niya is, kung hindi mo ma-feel na supported ka, mag-a-adjust yung support sa'yo. So it's a place for the random. The conversations na you don't get to have kung sakaling hindi ka makasabay sa ibang programs that you're in. The klase ng topics na mas pwedeng pag-usapan will be personalized. And the resources I'll continually create it based on certain avatars of who are the people inside. So Life Systems, nag-evolve siya alongside the people who are a part of it. So as people share their journey, nag-a-adapt yung ibang resources para maging inclusive yung approach to certain problems that need solutions. Yeah, so that's where I'm at in building that. So share ko ba yung political na side? Hindi naman ako tatakbo ng election at any point. Pero I've reduced Life Systems to help Filipinos only instead of before it has an international dynamic to it. Na pwede siya para sa lahat ng tao. At this point, talagang Pinoy talaga yung gusto kong tulungan above all else. Pwede namang half, kasi ako nga half Pinoy. So, yan. Ay, half nga ba? Hindi, 1/4 nga lang ako. So, pero Pinoy by heart. So, life systems exists for Pinoys to dream better and then ma-fuel yung hope nila to ano, to pursue those things. Ayun, di ko alam kung matino ba yung sagot ko na yun, pero yeah, baka may follow-up question ka dun, Mark.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, yung guild, we're actually gonna launch that starting August 1. So that's Friday next week. Ay, next week na pala. Tama, next week. Friday next week. Ayun. Yeah. Anything else from the group? We have 22 minutes. Anything you're trying to figure out? Ito yung isang natutuwa ako sa mga Zoom calls, yung mga listeners. Ayan, paano yung EEE sprint? Oh yeah, that happens from August 1. Actually, part na yun ng guild. Okay? So yung Piggy Bank Adventure, which is a savings program I'm running right now, it will now be hosted inside the guild. So everyone who enrolls in the guild moving forward, may access na rin sila to all PBA resources and activities. So yung EEE, it actually stands for, what does it stand for? Sorry, nawala sige. Kaya ayoko ng mga pangalan na ganito. Yung last na E stands for earnings. Yes, pareho lang tayo naramdaan niya. Yung unang E, earning, hindi, extra yung unang E. Anong gitna na E? I actually forgot. Hindi, parang extra yung pangalawa. Anyway, income sprints. Okay, income sprints yung alternative na tawag dito. Every first week of the month, there's gonna be models for generating cash flow that people can try out. So we'll be presenting anywhere from 3 to 5 the evolving extra earnings. So 3 to 5 models of earning extra cash flow per month yung i-introduce every first week of the month starting August. So it's a way to help people grab mga ideas for extra income, but at the same time, it's going to be guidance to it. So the first week is the setup, and then if a person chooses something to pursue within the month, then we'll have continual consultations on how you execute on that. Ideally, it earns people 15K pataas per month. That's the goal for it. So if someone participates in the first week of the month, then yeah, you'll receive guidance on having that extra income, extra earning for the month. Tapos kung matest mo na yun, tapos feeling mo sustainable, gusto mong ituloy ulit for the next month, then yeah, we can continually talk about it and tweak it moving forward. Kung sakali naman na hindi mo pala trip yun, then may panibagong set na naman that you can try to sort out for the next month. Okay. What I found kasi is many people lack experience, diversified experience, okay, in pursuing different opportunities for money creation. Okay? Ang nangyayari is, you will be presented with an opportunity, let's say, digital products. Okay? So may nakita ka na course, create ka na digital products, di ba? Pero at the same time, ang hinihingi sa'yo na commitment to make it work is kind of a long time. Diba? So it would take you, 6 months to a year na ina-effortan mo yung income stream na yun to make it work. And then sometimes it just doesn't work. Okay? And minsan feeling mo hindi na siya worthwhile, pero dahil nag-invest ka na doon and some people make it work, diba? Parang nandun nagkakaroon ng magulong decision making. Itutuloy ko ba to? Pag tinuloy ko to, achieve ko ba yung dapat ma-achieve? All of these things. Pero ito, with my consulting clients, one of the biggest pitfalls is they have big ideas, they have big vision, pero ang next step kasi kapag malaki yung vision mo, okay yung business idea mo, is yung pilot stage. That's where you test the idea first before ka magbuhos ng resources into it. Okay? Kapag hindi na dumaan sa pilot stage yung business idea, mas malaki na nasasayang na resources to build it over time. Okay? Now, in our own journeys, if we're building a specific career path, a specific business, madalas we're encouraged to go all in. Okay? Instead of, how can I test it out to know if this is something I want to pursue? Okay? Eh, hindi naman lahat pareho ng all in. Iba yung all in ng single pa, iba yung all in ng merong 4 na anak, iba yung all in ng PWD, iba yung all in ng may mental health issue, iba yung all in ng may supportive na family. Diba? So ang daming variables ng pag sinabing all in. Pero lahat ng tao pwedeng mag-pilot stage. And mas advisable na every person learns how to set up a pilot stage before they fully transition into something or gusto talaga lang i-pursue yung isang bagay long term. Right? Yeah. So, sana hindi tayo magsayang ng parts ng buhay natin. If we can only learn how to test things ng mas maayos, may eliminate natin a lot more wasted time, energy, attention for things na hindi naman talaga magtatagal sa buhay natin. Yeah. Dami ko sinabi, no? Last 15 minutes, any questions you have in mind? Anything na tipong di ka makakatulog tonight kapag hindi mo na itanong ngayon? Yung tipong makukonsensya ka kahit hindi safeguard yung sabon. Safeguard ba yun? Yung may, parang mali yata yung brand ko. Safeguard ba?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Anything else in mind? What are you trying to sort out right now? Paano magsusorry sa asawa mo? Wala, hindi nagre-react. So, okay lang ako. Meron ba from the group? Ayan, I hear from Murs. Following up on that thought po, bakit mo pinupo? Okay. So, I feel like I'm stuck in learning mode and trying things out. Oh, if that's the case, na nasa learning mode ka at the same time trying things out, hindi ka may stuck. Kasi gumagalaw kayo. Kung tinatry mo yung mga bagay na related sa natututunan mo, feeling mo lang stuck ka pero gumagalaw ka. So, hindi ka talaga stuck. Does that make sense? So, ang tanong sa akin, saan nanggagaling yung feeling mo na stuck ka? Kahit meron ka namang inaaral, tapos yung inaaral mo ay ina-apply mo because you're trying it out. Or mali ba yung pagkakaintindi ko? Is this more, nag-aaral ka, tapos susubukan mo pa lang pero hindi mo masubukan? Wala ba internet ko? Ay, nasusubukan ko pero di gumagaling masyado. Okay. Here's where the kind of opportunity na tinitake on natin to test things out matter. Okay? So, madalas, sinasabi sa atin, consistency is the key. Diba? So, para mas ma-practice mo yung isang bagay, kailangan tuloy-tuloy mo siyang gawin. Okay? But, if yung level ng practice na yon is hindi rin nag-e-evolve, hindi talaga ganun kalaki yung growth na mangyayari. Okay? So, kailangan natatansya natin kung hanggang saan na yung next level at kung ready na tayo for the next level. Okay? So, example na lang, gym. No? So, pag nagbubuhat ka sa simula, you're gonna be, kung wala ka talaga experience and all, you're gonna be encouraged lang na magbuhat nung lower weight, di ba? Lower weight lang muna. Tapos, eventually, habang bubuhat ka nun, may feel mo na hindi na siya sapat sa'yo. Kasi kung dati nabibigatan ka dun sa lower weight na yun, ngayon, parang petics na lang, relax ka na. Now, if consistency is key, tapos paulit-ulit lang na yun lang ibubuhatin mo na weight, basically, mag-grow ka pa rin naman doon, pero hindi kasing laki yung growth. As opposed to my weight progression. Kapag na-reach mo na yung level na, kayang-kaya ko na yung weight na to. So, kailangan ko na magdagdag. Okay? Tapos kapag kayang-kaya mo na ulit yung weight na yun na may dagdag, kailangan mo ulit dagdag. Okay? So, it's a matter of curating your outlets for practice. Okay? So, kunyari, let's say, nag-aaral ka mag-copywriting. Okay? Sa simula, like, sulat-sulat ka muna, di ba? Kopyahin mo muna yung copy ng iba, and then, ahalin mo and stuff like that. And then eventually, you have to create your own copy out of certain topics. Diba? Tapos kapag nakapag-create ka ng copy, kailangan mo nang i-repurpose yun. Paano yung copy na to pwede magkaroon ng social media version? Paano pwede magkaroon ng email version? Paano magkaroon ng ebook version? Diba? So, after nun, baka pwede ka nang mag-take on ng sample project. Diba? May ibang tao na involved. Meron na pwede mag-feedback sa'yo kung okay yung gawa mo, hindi solo lang. Diba? So, sample project, you can be paid for that. Baka hindi ka pa makaka-charge ng sobrang tax for that. Pero it's a good starting point na may ibang tao na involved. Paano kung yung sample project na yun, may team ka din of other copywriters na kasama within that client's business. So, ibang klase na naman ulit ng practice. Yun. Okay? If we compare this from the usual path na meron yung isang tao sa corporate job, okay? So, magsisimula ka as pwedeng intern, di ba? O kaya trainee. Tapos pag napasa mo yung 3 months, magkakakontrata ka na, di ba? Tapos, dun sa contract na yun, may expose ka na sa iba-iba pang mga tao and work dynamics and stuff. Lahat yun may iba't ibang outlets of practice. Yan. So, hindi lang siya about nasusubukan mo, pero are you aiming for the next level of yung nilalearn mo dun sa path na yun? Okay? So, kung masyado kang consistent na same monotonous level lang yung outlets mo for practice, hindi mo talaga mararamdaman na umuusad ka. Requirement sa mas ramdam na paglago yung pag-step mo into higher levels of challenges. Okay? So, better practice outlets. Mas makikita mo kung nasa na yung limit. Part of that is kailangan mong humingi ng feedback sa ibang tao and mas maging komportable na magkamali. Kung meron pa talagang kulang sa mga stuff na ginagawa mo, kung meron pa talagang mga pwedeng i-improve, mas okay makuha mo na kagad yung feedback na yun. Okay? So in solo mode, ang hirap nun. Pag feedbackan mo yung sarili mo, magulo eh. So required na talaga ng ibang tao if you wanna play higher levels of what you're trying to learn. Yan. So a mentor or a coach can be helpful din with this as long as meron kang access to feedback. Yung usual na courses na may access ka to 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 the course lang o dun sa material, less na yung less na yung effect nun sa growth mo kasi technicalities lang yun eh. Kumbaga step by step. Pero madalas pag nag-execute ka na, ang kailangan mo is actual feedback on your actual work. And mas malaki yung pwedeng improve mo kapag meron kang ganong klase ng feedback before. Is this making sense? Yeah, I hope it helps. We have 7 minutes. Baka may final question pa from the group. Anything in mind? Usually mga 5 seconds lang din. Pero Thursday na ngayon, so baka yung brain cells natin excited na for the weekend. Ayan, okay, sige. I think we're all good for now. So, ayan, oo nga, Claire, appreciate you. Ayan, so, marami pang nagre-recover from the actual weather shenanigans. Ayan, pero I hope lahat kayo dito, you've learned something. Touch on ko lang to. Sabi ni Kring, thank you Kage, applied ng FBI. Baka lang may malito. Hindi dahil may ginagawa tayong illegal, okay, kaya FBI. Yung FBI is a framework. Okay? It's one of my favorite frameworks. It comes from Simon Sinek. No, it stands for feelings, behavior, impact. Okay? And share ko na lang to real quick since wala naman ang other questions for now. This is a conflict resolution framework. Okay? So kung sakaling may isang tao pa sa buhay mo, tapos meron kayong misunderstanding o may nagawa siya para masaktan ka o ma-disappoint ka, anything of the sort. Okay? Nag-clash yung values nyo, may conflict kayo, may nagawa siya sa'yo, sadya man o hindi sadya, and then you got hurt by that. Okay? The idea is, if you want proper reconciliation and you want higher chances of change na mangyari dun sa relationship, especially on the side of the other person, kailangan mas maging malinaw yung pag-communicate, ano yung naging sitwasyon talaga from your perspective. Okay? So pag sinabing feelings, behavior, impact, pagkakausapin mo yung person na naka-apekto sa'yo, you need to clarify, okay, ano yung naramdaman mo, okay? Ano yung action niya that made you feel that way, and ano yung naging impact sa'yo. Okay? And then there's a future impact pa that we need to consider. So, example, let's say, yung asawa ko tinaasan ako ng boses. Okay? Tapos, na-offend ako nun. Okay? Tapos kakausapin ko siya. So, kailangan kong i-identify ano yung naramdaman ko. Okay? So, it can be, ano nga bang naramdaman ko? And saang book galing ng FBI framework ni Simon? Actually, hindi ko na matandaan. Hindi ko matandaan saang book. Pero, umattend kasi ako ng mga workshops ni Simon. Like, I would say, mas marami pa akong hours na na-spend sa workshops na meron sila, and yeah, some of my teams before have attended those workshops at the same time. Ongoing naman yung lahat sa Optimism something company. Anyway, if you wanna immerse yourself in Simon Sinek's stuff, yeah, it is basically for leadership, yeah, mga organization. Yeah. Anyway, so the idea is to communicate yung feelings. So example, tinaasan niya ako ng boses. I can say, I felt offended. I felt disrespected. Okay. And yung behavior niya is, nung tinaasan mo ako ng boses. Okay. And dahil doon, it feels like nawalan ako ng confidence to lead in this household. So dinadramahan lang natin. Example lang naman. And then, the future impact is, tingin ko if maging ganun, if magpapatuloy na tinataasan mo ako ng boses out of the blue, it may make me shy away from conversations altogether. Baka mas iwasan ko na makipag-usap in the future. Kasi feeling ko hindi magkakaroon ng maayos na usapan. Is this making sense as a concept? Okay? So feelings, behavior, impact. People who love us will naturally be more comfortable to show yung side nila na pag galit sila, galit talaga. Diba? Pag malungkot sila, malungkot talaga. Pag gusto ko talaga sa bunutan, gusto ko talaga sa bunutan. Okay? Kasi may ganung level of may ganung level of vulnerability and comfort if there's actual care and love. So, tayo, tsaka yung ibang taong mahal natin, may expose talaga dun sa mga ganung klase ng flaws in our behavior. Okay? So, it's just best to know na hindi to about the action lang, diba? Communicating feelings and impact. Kapag mas naintindihan yung side na yun, okay, mas magiging madali to change moving forward. Kasi may hugot na ngayon yung pag-change ng behavior. As opposed to, hindi naiintindihan kung bakit. Ba't kaya siya galit? Ba't kaya siya malungkot? Okay? So, yun lang. It's not something everyone will apply right away because I know it's not always easy, but it can help. Okay? If matatandaan mo to sa tamang pagkakataon. Ayun. Sa ngayon, I'll leave you with that. Maraming salamat for this afternoon session. Tomorrow we have another one like this. It's a 10 a.m. session tomorrow. Kung trip nyo lang, di ba? So, this is trip ko lang session number 3. So tomorrow is trip ko lang session number 4. The conversations, it's the people inside the group that prompt yung actual conversations and questions. So kung gusto nyo, bukas is available kayo 10 a.m. Go ahead, join lang kayo, same link. And yeah, checkaan lang tayo. Maraming salamat. Take care and talk soon.